Welcome to Westgard Advisor Online for Unity Web 2.0 Training, Part 2. This is a list of topics covered in this video. We'll begin with TEA. Our first step is to configure the allowable total error. The TEA is an analytical quality specification that sets acceptable limits for imprecision and bias in a single analyte result. In other words, how much imprecision and bias are you willing to accept? We encourage you to view our video on TEA if you need additional information. To configure the TEA, first click Advisors, Westgard Advisor, and select Configure TEA. Here we see a TEA selection for each test. There are a number of ways to determine the appropriate TEA. Some methods include published professional recommendations, regulatory bodies and agencies, calculations using biological variation data and laboratory established performance goals, state-of-the-art. If you make choices other than the default, click Save. Next, we'll specify the data requirements. Click Advisors, Westgard Advisor, and select Preferences. Westgard Advisor Online requires a minimum amount of data in order to generate suggested rules. By default, a minimum of 20 lab data points are needed in order to make a rule recommendation. There are also defaults for the number of consensus group data points and consensus group labs. These defaults represent minimal best laboratory practices, but you can change them. If you do make a change, click Save. Next, we'll generate rules using the wizard. Click Advisors, Westgard Advisor, and Design QC Rules. Select the desired lab number, lot, and then click Generate Rule Suggestions. A dialog box appears, giving us a choice of modes to use. By selecting the wizard mode, we allow Westgard Advisor Online to help us. We'll use this today. However, you could also use the defaults or the advanced modes, which do not utilize the setup wizard. This is the first wizard step. Here we see the wizard posing a fairly simple question. Do you want to generate suggestions for all lot numbers? Then we click Next to move to Step 2. Again, a simple question is posed. What date range do you want to use? The data within the date range you choose will be used in the calculations. You can use the drop-down calendar to make a selection and then click Next. Step 3 asks what level of control should be used to compute performance estimates. It can be done by level or by performance. If you choose by level, you'll need to select a level. If you select by performance, you'll need to indicate whether you want to use the level with the lowest or highest total error. Finally, the fourth step of the wizard asks you to determine two things: which group to compare to, and the group data range. The options are shown for each. Make your selections and click Finish. Here we can see the suggested rules that Westgard Advisor Online has recommended. Remember that these are only suggestions. Nothing has been set up in Unity Web 2.0. You are free to treat the software as a sandbox by experimenting with different settings in order to test other options. Continue your training by viewing Part 3.